Greetings, Bassketeers. I'm Josh Fossgreen, and I'm going to show you 3 things that you definitely need to know about your bass neck. I'm going to assume that you already know that you're tuned E, A, D, G, and that as you go up the neck, each fret equals 1 half step. So E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp. It's all very logical, consistent progression. Every fret is a half step. So tip number 1 is the octave shape. This is so useful for finding other instances of notes in different octaves. So let's say that we've got a C here on the 3rd fret of the A string, right? A sharp, B, C. What if I want to find the next C up, which would be double the frequency as an octave? I'm going to go up 2 strings and up 2 frets. So when I say up 2 strings, I mean up 2 higher pitched strings. So I'm on the A, so I'm going to go D, G. And then up 2 frets, meaning to higher numbered frets. So 3, 4, 5, okay? So that's 2 moves. It's 3, there are 3 frets involved, but it's 2 moves, 3 to 4 and 4 to 5. Okay, so I went up 2 strings and up 2 frets, and that brings me to the 5th fret of the G string, which is also a C. And what's really cool about the bass, since we're tuned symmetrically, is that you can move that shape around anywhere. And it's always going to be an octave, always 2 strings and 2 frets apart. And you could think of it the other way too. Let's say that you've got an E up on the 9th fret of the G string and you want to find an E below that. Go down 2 strings, down 2 lower pitched strings, and then down 2 frets. Subtract 2 from the fret number. That puts us on the 7th fret of the A string. Okay, really useful to know. Tip number 1 is the octave shape. The second thing you should know about your bass neck is the unison shape, okay? A lot of people who do know the octave shape do not know this one. If you think about the way your bass is tuned, if you're on the E string, you go E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp. A is on the 5th fret. A is also the next open string over, okay? So the 0th fret on the A string is the same pitch as the 5th fret on the E string. Now again, since the bass is tuned symmetrically, we can use that knowledge anywhere on the neck just by going up a string. Again, up means further away from your face, up to a higher pitched string, and subtracting 5 from our fret number, we get the exact same note. So 5th fret on the E string is the same as the open A. What if I went 6th fret on the E string? Where's that going to be? Up to the A string, minus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frets, 1st fret. Okay, so 6th fret E, 1st fret A, same note, or both A, B flat. Let's try another example. What if I'm up on the 12th fret of the D string? I want to find that same note. I could go a couple different directions. I could go up to the G string and then down 5 frets. Okay, so I go up to the G and then minus 5 from 12 is 7. So 7th fret on the G is same as 12th fret on the D. Hear that? The tone is slightly different because the strings are different thicknesses and lengths, but it's the same pitch. I could do the same thing in reverse. Rather than going up to the G string, I could go down to the A string and then up 5 frets. So add 5 to 12, you get 17th fret on the A string. Same note there, okay? So all 3 of those are the exact same note, and you can find them all just by knowing the unison shape. The third thing you should know is that you should definitely combine the octave and unison shape to get even more useful shapes. I'll show you 2 of them. One is, let's say we've got an octave of a C up here, 8th fret of the E string, octave up, 2 strings up, 2 frets up, to the 10th fret of the D string. We can get an alternative octave shape by using the unison shape on our high note. We're going to take it up to the G string, subtract 5, so instead of 10 on the D, it's going to be 5 on the G. That gives me this shape. Okay, I'll get these fingers out of the way so you can see. 8th fret on the E string, 5th fret on the G string is also an octave shape. So this one you can only do E and G string on a 4-string bass, right? Because it takes up all the strings. Okay, so that's another octave shape that you can use, and again, a lot of people are not as familiar with this one. as the other octave shape we talked about, but it's really useful to be aware of. Another combination you can get is by taking the unison shape the other way. Okay, so we'll take our same C, 8th fret on the E, 10th fret on the D. We'll take a unison of the high note down to the A string. So we go down a string, so we're gonna go up 5 frets. 10 plus 5 is 15. So now if we look at the relationship here, I've got my low note on the 8th fret of the E, my high note on the 15th fret of the A. That's a 7 fret gap and 1 string. So another way you can find an octave is to go up 1 string and up 7 frets. So there's one octave shape, there's another octave shape, and there's the last one. You could also just do a 12 fret jump on the same string, but nobody likes to do that. Well, I do it sometimes. But anyway, you can get some cool effects from that, like if you want to build a slide into your line or something, sometimes it's useful to know an octave shape that actually forces you to shift. So, recap. Octave shape plus unison shape equals good stuff. It's going to be so much easier for you to find notes on your bass if you really internalize these shapes and apply them in whatever way you can think of. You know, think, okay, what if I want to find every F on my bass? Well, I'll start here, then I could use my octave shape, then I could use my unison shape, then my octave shape again, then a unison, then an octave down, then I could use my up 1 string, up 7 frets octave shape. So I can use just the octave and the unison shape in different combinations and find every F on the bass or every A on the bass. So super, super useful. I really recommend that you internalize these shapes. And again, there's more stuff on learning the fingerboard in my latest book, Electric Bass Scales and Arpeggios, if you want to check that out. Thank you for supporting this channel. I'll be back at you soon with more bass lessons and more music. Peace.